Hi everybody. So I'm coming to talk to you today about how to leverage this time and how not to just get through it or make the best of it, but truly how to leverage it. Because we are in a global expectation hangover. I wrote this book in 2014. I think I wrote it 6 years too early. But I'm glad that it's there because it's an incredible resource. And I have seen human beings go through so many expectation hangovers. It's what I love to help people with, and I'm going to define an expectation hangover in a moment. And if there's one commonality with how a person gets through an expectation hangover, it's whether they leverage it and they really dive in and they really use it, or if they just try to get through it. They just are like, okay, it's a tough time, I'm gonna be strong, I'm gonna get through it, and they don't really dig in and dive in. The latter, the people that just wanna hunker down and get through it, guess what? They have the same expectation hangover come again because they didn't really leverage and learn from the first one. So let me define what an expectation hangover is. It's not about managing expectations. It's when one of three things happen. Either things don't go according to your plan, they don't go according to your expectations, or things do go according to your expectations or plan, but you don't feel like you thought you would. Like you get into that great relationship or you get this job and you thought, oh wow, my life is gonna be so much better. I'm gonna feel confident and great and all these things, and you don't. Or life throws you a total unexpected curveball. Guess which one we're in? 1, 2, or 3? Can you guess? It's 3. Life has thrown us a curveball, and also a lot of the things that we planned aren't going to plan. There have been canceled weddings, canceled graduations, canceled trips, people being laid off, having to lay off people getting sick, people dying. There have been all kinds of expectation hangovers. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you and share with you one of my biggest concerns about this time we're in right now. Absolutely, there's the concern about people's health. Absolutely, there's the concern about the economy. Absolutely, there's concerns about people's emotional, mental health, as well as physical health. But I'd say my concern on top of all those concerns is that we aren't going to learn what we truly need to learn during this time, and we're going to need an even bigger expectation hangover. Because as within, so without. So our external environment is always reflecting our internal reality, right? And just like with human beings, when we don't learn, when we don't get the lesson, when we don't shift behavior, then the same thing comes back around. For example, let's say you're in a relationship with someone who's unavailable or perhaps even narcissistic, and you stay and you tolerate it, and then you just leave out of frustration. And you don't really ever heal it. You're just like, well, I'm out, it's over, I got to the other side of it. Okay, fine. But then all of a sudden, you find yourself in another similar relationship. Same with maybe a toxic environment at work or not being able to get your finances in order. When you don't really deal with it, and I'm going to explain what dealing with it means, it just comes back around. So that's my concern, is that as a collective, are we really going to dive in and deal with it? Because if we just get through it and make the best of it, then we're kind of brushing some things under the rug. So here's the thing that expectation hangovers, they teach us many things, but if I could sum it up in 4 categories, it's these 4 things. Number 1, control is an illusion, right? We all thought we had control. I was supposed to be leaving for Paris in a week to go speak. Not happening. So many people were thinking that they were going to be going to work this next month. Not happening. Like we do not have control over our external environment 100%. We do actually have dominion over how we respond. And that's where we find our power in expectation hangovers, is how we respond internally. The second thing is your comfort zone is a trap. We all were getting way too comfortable and kind of unconscious in just our day-to-day life. And we were rinsing and repeating a lot. And what was comfortable was mostly just familiar. It wasn't that it was necessarily sustainable or all that fulfilling. So now that we're uncomfortable, it's like, oh, we have an opportunity to change. I was watching something that Carolyn Myss was teaching, and Carolyn Myss is a wise woman. She's incredible. And she was saying that we don't really reach our full human potential until we're pushed to the edge of uncertainty. It's like in uncertain, difficult times, that's when we actually discover our full human potential. So this comfort zone that we've all been in as a collective, it has been a trap. and it's been making us act in unsustainable ways. And boom, we're out of our comfort zone. So what are we going to do? Are we going to grip onto the familiar in the past, or are we going to dig in? And I'm going to talk more about this. Dig in and go, okay, let's get way out of our comfort zone, because we already are. We're in massive uncertainty, and I actually want you to get more uncomfortable. And you're like, Christine, come on, I want tips for calming anxiety. I want tips for launching my new business, or writing my book, or being productive in this time, or what should I eat? No. Maybe later I'll tell you some of the supplements I'm taking, but the most important thing that I feel I can share with you is get even more uncomfortable. We're coming back to that. Third thing, expectations hangovers to teach us, again, in generalizations, is that it ain't out there. The answer is ain't out there. We have to be the change we want to see in the world. I think a lot of people are just waiting around for the government, for the CDC, for scientists, for somebody to do something about it. And we're just kind of waiting. And that puts us in a very helpless, disempowered place. And so we have to start looking for some of these answers within us. More on that in a second. And the fourth thing is you're not being punished. We're not being punished. I think that there's a lot of guilt going on. There's a lot of, we've been so bad to the environment, our systems are awful, and there's a lot of we're being punished by the earth. That thinking isn't going to help us. This is a wake-up call, but if we relate to it as a punishment, then we're just going to be in victim mentality. And that especially goes for those of you that have lost jobs or have had something happen as a result of this, couldn't have your wedding, couldn't have an event, those kind of things. You are not being punished. You didn't do anything wrong. But you are being asked to feel it, deal with it, and heal it. You are being asked to dive into some of the pain that you're feeling. So let's talk now a little bit about what I mean by really leveraging these expectation hangovers. Okay, you all really get control is an illusion, your comfort zone is a trap, it's not out there, and you're not being punished. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do? The first thing we do is we feel. We really feel what's coming up for us. We make time and space to feel. And we do that by journaling. We do that by just sitting still, not listening to a guided meditation, not listening to binaural beats, not listening to anything except our own thoughts and our own breath. And we sit still and we feel. And we go, what is coming up for me? Because our distractions have been minimized. Right? Well, we can still have lots of distractions with our phone and TV, but our distractions in terms of being able to go out in the world and be busy out there have minimized. So we have this incredible opportunity to sit and go, all right, what's really coming up for me? So many people are really triggered in a variety of ways, and stuff is coming up. You're either being triggered by something that's happening outside of you, or internal stuff is coming up. Great, use it. Milk it for all it's worth. Go into it, because the ways we have been dealing with our pain and our feelings as a collective are unsustainable. So again, let's just look to the larger lesson from this whole COVID-19 thing. There are so many, and there's so many we haven't even learned yet. We aren't even aware that are there. But one of the biggest themes here is looking at the ways the things we have been doing are not sustainable. That doesn't just mean ways we've been acting in the environment. That doesn't just mean the ways we've been polluting the environment, the ways we've been driving and flying too much, the ways we've been living in an entitled life and not really acting as one, as a culture. Those are all absolutely unsustainable ways, but we need to look inside too at how we've been acting in unsustainable ways. So for example, if instead of feeling your feelings, you go to the refrigerator, or you eat, or you get on Netflix, or you get overinvested in someone else's feelings, or you work. That's one of the socially acceptable ones, is just losing myself in work. Ooh, wow, we're all self-quarantined. Great time to start a business or start a creative project. Okay, yes, maybe, but are you doing that because you're truly inspired, or is it partly a distraction from feeling? So I want you to sit in your discomfort and feel it, and really, really ask, how have I been dealing with my feelings in an unsustainable way? How have I been dealing with my feelings by avoiding, by distracting, by numbing, by stuffing them down instead of just dealing with it? I was talking to actually my astrologer, who's really cool. He's the only astrologer that I talked to. And he said the metaphor he used is that this self-quarantine, this whole pandemic is like someone having their first heart attack. and they go to the doctor, and the doctor says, okay, you lived, you survived, you made it through, but you got to make some major lifestyle changes. You got to stop eating crap, you got to walk, you got to do whatever, make these lifestyle changes. Now, that person has free will, and that person has a choice to go, okay, I'm going to make the lifestyle changes, or you know what, it'll be okay. I can have a steak. I don't need to work out that much. It's fine. I'll just have another Coke or another whiskey or whatever. If they don't make the second lifestyle, the lifestyle changes, then what happens when they have the second heart attack? Takes them out. And I love that metaphor because even though it's dramatic and drastic, it's true. It's like this, we've had a first heart attack. We've had a wake-up call. Are you going to make the changes? Are you going to stop numbing, stop avoiding, and stop feeling? Also, are you going to stop putting toxicity in your body? So let's look at the environment. We can all say a blessing that's come out of this whole quarantine thing is that the air is cleaner, the animals are happier, the oceans are cleaner. We've seen how just stopping has created so much freedom in the environment, right? Because we've stopped polluting it. We've stopped being careless and reckless. I want you to think of Mother Earth as your body. How are you being reckless with your body? How are you polluting it? With the things that you put in it? With your thoughts? I read somewhere that alcohol sales have gone way, way up. Way, way up. What are we doing, people? This is not the time to be drinking more. This is not the time to be putting all the toxins inside of us that we're taking out of the environment. This is really, really the time to, again, as without, so within. As within, so without. See those clear skies and let that be an inspiration that that's what your soul wants. Your soul wants to be clear and free. It wants to be clear and free of all the shit. It wants to let go of the inner wounding. It wants to let go of the emotional addictions. It wants to let go and be free of the toxic thoughts and materials you are putting in it. So can you do that? Can you really, really use this time not to keep polluting yourself so you can be clear as well? The environment, I feel like Mother Earth doesn't need us to save her. She's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, she could wipe us all out in an instant if she really wanted to. But what she's showing us, she needs us to pay attention. And more so, I feel like she needs us to be in harmony with her. And we do that by being in harmony with ourselves and really listening. You know, what do I need in this moment? So the next time anxiety comes up or fear comes up or anger comes up, are you going to go and pollute yourself with a numbing device or distract yourself with a coping strategy or just brush it under the rug and pretend everything's fine? Or are you going to go, all right, anger, or all right, anxiety, all right, sadness, all right, grief, I feel you. I feel you. And I'm going to acknowledge you and I'm going to feel it. And I'm going to ask, what can I learn versus why is this happening to me? So I am imploring, is that the right word? I don't want to say begging, encouraging all of you to do some deeper inner work. Expectation Hangover is a great guide. It is so perfect for this time in terms of how to deal with things emotionally, mentally, behavioral, and physically. I also have my personal mastery course. I'm giving a $200 discount on it. You just go to christinehassler.com/mastery, go to the checkout page, and in the promo code, you enter HEALTH, HEALTH, and then you'll get the $200 off. And we have a 12-month payment program. So it equates to between $60 and $70 a month. Totally reasonable. And you get those monthly group coaching calls with me. So I encourage you, please tag people. This is not about me. This is really about spreading the message of we need to wake up. This isn't just a retreat. This isn't just let's get our closets organized and spend more time with our family. All those things are really, really, really great. However, we also need to be looking at what's not sustainable within us. You know, the next time you want to snap at your partner, really ask yourself, is this sustainable? Do I really want to let the fact that my partner left his socks on the floor upset me? Is getting upset about the little things really sustainable for the kind of life I want to live? The next time you want to pour yourself a glass of wine because you're stressed out with the kids and homeschooling and all those kinds of things, and you reach for that wine, go, is this sustainable? Is this really how I want to manage my stress? And unconsciously teach my children to manage their stress. Maybe I need to go hit a pillow and scream and get my frustration out. Maybe I need to put on a song and dance my heart out. Maybe I need to go to sleep. Maybe I need to take a bath. What do I need? Maybe I need to cry. So, sustainability. Really ask yourself, what am I doing that's not sustainable? What am I doing that is not going to take me to my highest potential? If you're watching, that means that you are awake. You're awake. And that means you have even more of a responsibility to do your work. Those who hold the highest degree of consciousness, not in a better than less than way, also have the most responsibility. I believe the term light worker means people who are willing to go into the dark, go into the scary places, go into their shadow, go into the wounded parts, and shine light on it and go like, okay, I understand that I'm completely freaked out during this time of uncertainty because I lived in a household where there was always fighting and I never felt safe. And I'm getting really super triggered because I don't feel safe. So I'm going to nurture that little one. I'm going to feel my feelings about it. I'm going to hit some pillows and be angry that I didn't get what I need. But I'm no longer going to let that define me. It's not sustainable for me to feel anxiety every time there's uncertainty. So there's great learning here, people. There's great opportunity. I've heard a lot of people say this is a blessing. I think it is a blessing in so many ways, but I think the more accurate word right now is it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to really, really do some deep work, because I have seen with myself and with thousands of people I've worked with at this point, is that when a human being is willing to go into their stuff, not be selfish, but be self-honoring, really stop worrying about saving the world for a moment and go into, all right, where am I hurt? Where am I wounded? Where am I, acting out of fear, acting out of old programming, and actually heal that and get to a place of love and acceptance and gratitude? Then they are far better equipped to serve. They have better ideas. They are better leaders. They are better they're better at seeing vision. And so it is my heartfelt belief that the more individuals who do the inner work, which also leads to the upward work, the farther we go inside, the farther we go up in terms of our consciousness and spirituality, the more we are going to get the insight and wisdom that will lead us through this crisis. We're looking for leaders, like just a few people. And I think that's one of the things that's not sustainable, is expecting a few people to lead the world and to lead a country. It's going to come from all of us. And as Einstein says, problems can't be solved at the level they're created. We're not going to find the answers in this consciousness. We've got to go in, go up. And that's when I feel that the insights, the innovation, the inspiration, the information that we need to serve, that we need to help and support the people who don't have the tools and who are really suffering, that we need to restructure some really outdated, whacked out paradigms and systems, that's how that information is going to come. So if you are someone who wants to make a difference, which I believe you are, then I quote Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. Do the inner work and you will be amazed at the vision that comes forward. When one person wakes up, shifts their consciousness, lets go of generational patterning, let go of old wounding, your ripple effect energetically is massive. So please don't ever underestimate the power of doing the work. If you resonate with me and I can help you, there's Expectation Hangover. You can get it on Amazon. There's christinehasser.com/mastery. The code is good for, I'm not taking it off anytime soon. Use the code HEALTH. Again, there's a 12-month payment program and you get monthly group coaching calls with me, so more access to me as well. And it's an awesome, awesome community. We have a Facebook page there as well. It's a good community to be a part of at this time. Join us on our free calls, christinehasser.com/free call, where we guide you through breath work, meditation, and we also coach you. And most of all, just really stop and listen. Less distracting, less numbing, less trying to be productive, Let's all go deeper, deeper within so that we can really elevate to the place where more of the answers and solutions will come. I love you all. Bless you all. Thank you for being light workers.